I'm raising money for childhood cancer research. The link is both in the description of this video under the links of my channel, as well as in the description of the channel itself. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the week 8 recap video. This is going to be a little bit of a long video, so I'm just going to run through kind of what you're going to see in here, some of the lessons that I've learned this week. The biggest one being nutrition. I was under eating carbohydrates severely, and it was affecting my performance. So I made some adjustments that you'll see here throughout the week. Also, I've just kind of learned to trust the process a little bit more and trust my fitness and what's been developed and what I gained from the building process that I'm now complete with of this marathon training block. I moved into this week to another branch of the training. So we're doing a lot more speed work, maintaining pace work, and so on and so forth. So see a little bit of that in here. You'll see some of the lessons I learned about reading too deep into following paces and focusing more on trusting the effort that you put into a run. So if it's moderate, now I have an idea in my head from all these runs of what my moderate pace feels like. And that's important to know, so I'm not constantly glancing at my watch. And then most importantly, I've decided to start a donation page for this marathon and me running it. And I'm not gonna get anything out of this. I just feel like with a couple of people watching this video and watching this process, maybe we can make a difference in some people's lives and get some donations going in. But that's a side quest. So just a heads up on what's going on in this video so you're not blindsided. It's a little long. So grab you some snacks, get you a drink, get comfortable, and join me for the journey as we get ready to run our first ever full marathon, 13 weeks out. All right, guys, enjoy it. Good morning and welcome to week 8 of my first ever marathon training plan. Today is Sunday, so we have our Sunday long run on the docket for today. And that's gonna consist of a 16-mile run, but a 60-mile hard progression run. So the last 30 minutes of that will be at a hard pace. But it just says 30 minutes hard, right? So I'm not gonna implement a pace to this. I'm gonna use it as an effort. Kind of just monitor the heart rate and how I feel, and I'll judge that as being my hard pace or my hard interval for this run. I anticipated to take about 2 hours and 30 minutes to 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I'm running out there by myself again today. We got some family in town, so my wife is gonna hang back and not join me on the bike today like she normally has. So with that presents a challenge because in the past she's been carrying extra water with me, extra electrolytes, and the gels that I didn't want to like keep in my pocket. So this is a full-on practice survival run day, survival long run day, because this is the only water that I have on me, and I've got another pack of limit electrolytes on me. So hopefully I can just come across a water fountain, re-up on this. Worst case scenario, I'll stop at a gas station and get some more water or electrolytes, whatever I need. For fueling, this morning I ate a full bagel, Dave's Killer Bagel, with honey on it, and just some electrolytes as well for breakfast. During run, in run fuel, I've got 3 Morton Gel 100s, and I'll take those about every 40 minutes till we get back. So I think that covers everything. That covers the plan, the synopsis of it. It's not warm. We got some overcast today, thankfully. I've got actual sunscreen on today, so hopefully I don't come back with burnt shoulders, and we'll knock this thing out. One different thing I want to say is that this week's video is going to be the long run incorporated with the rest of the week. Traditionally in the past for this series so far, I've been doing one long run video standalone and then catching up the rest of the week with another video. But we'll just keep it all in one video today, test it out, see how it works, and maybe adjust fire moving forward or keep it like this. Okay, enough talking. 16-mile run, 16-mile hard progression run. Right now, let's do it. Let's get this week started strong, and let's start to knock out week 8 day by day. See you guys soon. Peace. We just wrapped up mile 2, and I took a sip of my water and realized I put electrolytes in it. What a treat. What a surprise. I'm expecting some regular bland water. And I was like, That's cherry limeade. So that's it. Just a little update. Feeling good. Legs feel refreshed. Legs feel really, really good for a Sunday, thankfully. But we got a long, long way to go. See you soon. All right, mile 4, first gel. First gel in. Uh, that's it. Just gonna take a gel. See you soon. We're 8 miles into our 16-mile run. Feeling pretty good. Legs holding up, feet holding up, back holding up. I'm pretty sure all my sunscreen's gone, but it is a little warm. We already had to refill the water bottle once at just a water fountain. So thankfully along the beach, there's lots of water fountains and restrooms. So it makes it easy to schedule a long run along the beach. But anyway, mile 8, so another gel 100. We'll bite on this for a little bit and we're on our way back now. Basically, we're done. Basically, we're finished. We did 8 miles, we got 8 left. And it's starting to feel like I'm gonna fight the wind again, like I had to do the last 16-mile run. Hopefully not, but I feel it coming. Probably gonna be stronger on the water. See you next gel. Just used a little restroom break, reloaded up on hydration, and added my last limit. I think it's called limit, LMNT, electrolytes. 2 miles until the 30 minutes at a hard pace. So 2.3 miles. 2.3 miles. And then we're gonna hit 30 minutes at a hard pace and bring it home. I swear, this run is flying by. That's 12 miles. We've been holding like 9:42 pace, but third gel, third more than 100. I'm gonna take it right now. This run is like legit flying by. Look at these views though. It's a little cloudy. It's actually supposed to rain today, which is crazy. There's a whole song about why that shouldn't be happening. All right, cheers. See y'all probably after we get done. I don't think I can record while I'm doing the hard paces. See ya. That is a wrap. That's a wrap. We got 16, I want to say ended up at 16.40 miles. Reason we went over a little bit is because I kind of had to estimate that last 30-minute effort because it said 30 minutes hard, last 30 minutes hard, but tried to calculate that in addition to making sure I ended at 16. So I started the intervals at 12.5 mile mark, and it just ended up being a little bit quicker than anticipated, I guess. So I could have played with it to get me back here on time and exactly at 16, but I just wanted to go off of feel. I was mostly going off of feel for that run. It felt really easy. I'm going to be honest with you. The first 12.5 miles went by like that. Like there's even a moment when I took the gel and I was like, man, it's the third gel already. Like it just seemed like it was every time I turned around, it was another 40 minutes passing. So that's a really good sign. I think the running is coming more natural. The breathing is coming more natural to me. Um, that's probably the easiest long run that I've done in the past 7 weeks, going on 8 weeks. And it's crazy because that was scheduled as the hardest one. So the endurance, the aerobic endurance and fitness is increasing, I think, noticeably at this point. I'm sweating really weird. I put on some heavy sunscreen, so I'm hoping that's what that is. It's either that or it's salt, because I definitely had a plentiful amount of electrolytes today. So let's talk about the run and the splits. Get splits up on the screen. Felt easy. So I think I was holding 9:20 pace for the first 12.5 miles, and I'm not sure what I ended up as a average pace for that last 30 minutes, but I think it was in the eights, high sevens or eights. I ended up wearing Alpha Fly threes today, so this was my first. This is the longest run that I've done in these shoes, and somebody recently asked me in the comments how am I liking them, and I said I'm on the fence between these and the Adi Zero Evo SLs for my race day shoes, but after this test and this distance, there's no discomfort in my feet. My heels aren't hurting. The back of my heels aren't hurting. There's no blisters that I can feel. So at 16, almost and a half miles, these Alpha Flight 3s held up pretty good under my weight. And I'm 200 pounds. So probably bigger than an average runner that's running these amount of distances. So it held up for me. So I think I'll keep trying them out on long runs, but if anything fails, I'm gonna revert back to the Eva Westell for my race day shoes. Um, what else? Did I cover everything? The weather was nice. The vibes was up. The music was good. Um, I feel good. I feel really good having that done, having this long run done because I was dreading it a little bit. But when you see these harder workouts coming up, and you overthink about them. I'll be honest, sometimes I like lose sleep over my next day's race because it's just in my head all night long. I think it was on Thursday night I was sleeping. I had a 10 mile on Friday, and it was just all I thought about all night long was running. I kept thinking my alarm was going off. I kept thinking it was time to go up. I would think that I already ran it. So it is in my head a lot, but because it's part of my life for these next couple of weeks, next what, 13, 12 or 13 weeks. So, and it's already been part of my life drastically for the past 7 going on 8. So just a little factor I thought I'd share about going through the marathon training process. Consumes you just a little bit, but I still had a good weekend. We were still out. We still stayed up when we wanted to stay up. We went out. We ate. I ate like, I think that's why this run might have been so easy because I ate so much over this weekend. We went to brunch. We went to dinner another night. I ate like burgers, a fat stack of peanut butter pancakes, and all these things. But I think that all replenished my glycogen. So fueling was already top notch before I even started this run. Okay, that's my run. That's my day. Tomorrow we got a 4 mile easy pace run and we got a regular push workout. So let's get some rest, get something to eat, refuel, and get back at it tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See y'all in the morning. Peace. Good morning and welcome to day 2 of week 8 of marathon training. We've got a 4 mile easy run this morning, and that's coming off of that 16 mile run that we did yesterday. So my legs are definitely carrying fatigue. My feet are definitely carrying fatigue. And I honestly just want to skip this because I look at it and it's like 4 miles in comparison to the mileage that I'm doing weekly. 4 miles just seems a little bit not a lot, not worth it. However, I know every run is important, every workout is important, and I want the benefits from the speed workouts, but then as well as the slow pace workouts. So I'm gonna still knock it out. I'm gonna still stick to it, and we'll keep it moving from there. So today I'm gonna wear my Hoka Clifton 10s because they're my easy pace shoe, one of my easy pace shoes. However, I think I'm nearing the end of the lifespan for them. So I'll probably get 1 or 2 more runs in them. And I think I'm around 250, 300. And then, as I discussed with a buddy of mine, like being a little bit of a heavier runner, I think we wear our shoes out a little bit quicker than the average person. So, all right, 4 miles easy. Be back here in about 40 minutes to wrap this up, start my day, and go to work. See you in a little bit. All right, back from our 4 mile easy pace run. It didn't feel easy at all. Nothing about that run felt easy. It actually, legs felt like cinder blocks, like I was dragging 2 tree trunks around my neighborhood, but it's over with. I think that that's important to get that run in after a long run to flush the legs out and get me ready for the next like speed interval or whatever it is next on the docket. But I think that run is going to pay dividends as we move forward. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I knocked it out and stuck to the plan. So I actually got done with the run about 15 minutes ago, but I ran into my morning workout buddy. He's always walking around the neighborhoods and I'll see her. So I told her one day I'm going to walk around the block with her. And then today was just that day. So I just got back from that and I got a little bit of time now because it was a short run. So just gotta get ready, go about my day. This afternoon, we're gonna do a push workout at the gym and really try to get back on track because I had a good weekend, a great weekend with family in town. Not the best weekend as far as following my diet regimen and my eating plan, my nutritional plan. So, got to get back on track with that this week. I'm looking forward to doing that. So, that's it. Let's get this week started and continue on as usual. I'll see y'all at the next update tomorrow morning. Peace. All right, good morning. Welcome to what I believe is day 3 of marathon training plan. We've got a pretty simple but a bit of a strategic run this morning. I'm going to do a 2 mile easy run to a hill location and then knock out 2 by 6 minute hill sprints at a 10K pace. The only challenge with this is that I don't have a hill in my neighborhood that's going to take me 2 minutes to get up it at a 10K pace. but I do have that distance and a bit of a, like a rolling hill. So it's got like one or two dips in it in the process. And I forget the overall elevation. I think the total was like 32 feet elevation cumulatively. But we got to just make do with what we got in the neighborhood right now. I'm not going to stress out too much. Just going to make sure I get the distance right and the pace and the effort right. And I think that's going to satisfy the purpose of the workout in its own. So that's it. Not a lot this morning. Gonna knock that out. We don't have any gym today, so just to run. These days are exciting to me now. It feels like little mini vacations. All right, run, then come home. See you guys soon. See you when we get back. Okay, so that wraps up our was it 2 miles and then 2 by 6 minute hill sprints with 2 miles easy pace back. So I think the overall total was about a little bit under 7.5 miles. And I didn't really know what the distance was going to be going into it, just because I didn't calculate those hill sprints and like the distance it was going to take holistically. But it's overall a really, really good run. My legs felt a lot better than they did yesterday on that 4 mile run that I did following that 16 mile run on Sunday. So it was good to stretch the legs out a little bit and to not feel like I was dragging center blocks around. This workout definitely got the heart rate up more so than I've been doing in a while. So I think we hit like the 160s. But the good thing is that we're able to bring it right back down to like high 130s, low 140s. So that's good, consistent work. It was a little bit of speed today because I was doing a 10K pace on the hills. So I wore the Hoka Mach X3s, and I'm trying to get better at explaining the shoe rotation and why I wear them. These are kind of like an everyday trainer, but they're also a race day shoe if you choose. They just have a little bit more spring to it, and it's better to get up hills and get some speed under you with these than it is for, like, say, the Nike Vomero Pluses. Overall, really good day. Nothing else to do today. No more gym. Just this run, and I just need to rest up, rehydrate, refuel, and get ready for tomorrow's longer run with a little bit of, I think, marathon pace or some type of pace. We're pacing something tomorrow. So let's wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next update. Till then, peace. Welcome back. Today is day 4, marathon training plan, and we've got a progression run of 10 miles total. The first 2 miles are going to be at an easy pace, and then the final 8 are going to be at a hard pace. So this is another run that's going to be totally based on feel. Um, I'm not going to dedicate myself to a pace. I'm not going to dedicate myself to a heart rate per se, and have my watch screaming in my ear all run. So just going to feel it out, give it a push, something I can control for about an hour. I guess a little bit more because 8 miles. And yeah, we'll just go with that. We're not gonna lock in to our watches and be checking our watch every couple seconds today. Just gonna go get it. There's 2 questions from this run that I'm gonna try to answer. The first one is, am I getting fitter? Am I getting faster? And I would assume yes. I haven't missed one yet, thankfully. I haven't had to, and I haven't altered any either. So, if the author of this book knows what he's talking about, then I think the answer is yes. I am getting more fit, and I'll be able to determine that from the sustainability of this 8 mile hard pace, which will be the longest hard pace that I've like tried to hold, probably through any history of run training. So today's going to be new for me. Then the second one is if I can hit a PR on the 10 miler. I don't necessarily have an all-out 10 mile run, except for the one that was part of my half marathon. But the recent workouts that have been 10 miles during this training block have been about an hour and a half, maybe a little north of an hour and a half on some of them. So my goal, which should happen as long as this workout goes according to plan, I should be back here in less than an hour and a half, and resulting ultimately in a PR for the 10 miler. So, 2 questions that I'm trying to find out. It's funny, I always get a little bit nervous before a run. I've been running like hundreds of miles in this training plan already, but still, before every run, there's like a little bit of nerves here. And then last night was one of those nights where I mentioned like I overthink about the run. I swear I dreamt about this run all night last night. Like I dreamt I did it already. I dreamt that I had another run right after it, and it was already done as well. Um, I dreamt about my pacing, my feeling. I'm gonna feel and just think and just let it come to you. Just let the pace come to you. It's like it's consuming. It's kind of funny, but it's kind of not. So uh, let's get it. So I dreamt about it all night. Let's go knock it out in real life. I'll see you guys later. Peace. I got a little bit of downtime on this run, so I figured I'd share some thoughts uh, about the process and where I am at it. First off, I gotta say that I'm like very proud that I've been going strong for almost 8 weeks now completely. I knew I was gonna do it, but I thought by now I would have missed some days. I had some challenges, wrist, worried about injuries all the time, of course. But I gotta say, man, just going through this process has changed my life in the better. I'm more structured than I've ever been. I'm more disciplined than I've ever been, more determined. And that translates into other things. That translates into your work ethic at work, your responsibilities at home, like even doing dishes. It's a very interesting story that I'm trying to find a way to deliver. Is I have a theory that I got here where I am today and on the path I'm on based off of flossing, flossing your teeth. And there's a little story to that, but I'll get to it one day. So coming up in the future, you guys are gonna see I got some travel going on starting next week. And luckily, I have my first weekday off day during my next week travel. But then the following week, I'm going to Nevada. And that's gonna be very challenging because of the heat and because of the distances that I need to run while I'm on travel. I've already sketched it out as far as the workouts go. I do need to do some research on the area, but yeah, that's going to be a really big challenge with this block, and I'm looking forward to knocking it out and putting it behind me. But just as anything else, I got to get the plan together first. Okay, just some random thoughts to get me from not thinking about the hard pace I'm about to do. I got about a mile left, then we turn it up all the way. Let's go. Just hit mile 4. That split was 7:54 or 7:55, but feeling good. A little winded, but no time to think about that. But first gel, probably the only gel of the run today. I'm gonna start sipping on this, see if we can get through this thing. See you in a little bit. All right, that was a fantastic run. Not gonna lie. What I'm also not gonna lie about is that I hope another run like that isn't coming up anytime soon in my training plan, because that took a lot out of me. I'll answer the questions from before the run here in a second. But first, I got to say, like, I know that I gave my all on those paces, and the reason I know it is because when I hit mile 8, I think my time was about 7:55 per mile, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna finish strong with some extra in the tank. I'm gonna push this next mile. So I think I'm pushing it. I think I'm running as hard as I possibly can, uh, in comparison to how tired I was. And then I hit mile 9, and it was like 7:58. So I like got 3 seconds slower, and I'm out here thinking I'm giving my all. So that's when I knew I was like, okay, I have nothing else in the tank. I've given this workout everything I have, so I know I didn't like slack on it. So that's a really good feeling. So is my fitness improving? Yes. Um, there's no other point in my 38 years of existence where I could have run 8 miles straight out of effort like that. 8 miles in general, but the past year, 8 miles isn't as crazy as it used to be to me. But that that pace that I held is. And then not only holding that pace, but I held that pace on tired legs after a 60-mile run on Sunday, easy run Tuesday, 7.5 miles yesterday. So the last time I carried that pace was actually for my full half marathon, which I ended up finishing in an hour and 44 minutes because I was floating right around 8 minutes a mile. The difference is that that was after a full training plan. That was after a taper. That was completely rested legs. So it's encouraging to see that pace show up again when my body is as fatigued as it is right now. Second question was, can I get a PR in my 10 mile? And that answer is also yes. So I did a segment, and granted, this includes the 2 miles easy beforehand, but I think that the effort kind of made up for that um, first 2 miles on the back eight. So I ended up pulling off an hour and 23 minutes for the 10 mile, which to my recollection, and Strava's going to tell me for sure, is is the fastest I've ever done 10 miles. So I feel really good about that. I feel excited about it. I don't know what's on the docket tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. That's normally hill sprints. So it should be a simple run, probably like 8 miles or something tomorrow. Today is a double T day, which is a term that I learned on YouTube yesterday, double training day today. So I have a pull workout this afternoon after work. Trucks were loud. So this afternoon after work, I do a double up, do another workout. But I feel good. I'm excited to get this workout done. I hope there's not another one similar to it for quite some time till I'm recovered. But let's get through this day, get through the push workout. See you guys tomorrow. Peace. Good morning. Welcome to day 5 of week 8 of marathon training. Today we have a 8 mile easy run with 10 by 8 second hill sprints. I'm ready to just knock this out. I'm feeling like mid. My legs are doing a lot better, not too sore, but the overall body is tired. One thing that I noticed is that I just kind of discovered that I was drastically under eating carbs for this whole 8 weeks so far. Now, I mentioned in one of my videos briefly that I'm in a calorie deficit while I'm trying to do this, which I mean, I will still maintain just because overall output is going to ultimately put me in a deficit for the most part, depending on how much I'm doing for that particular day with the volume of running. But the amount of carbs that I was eating, so it was 280 grams of carbs. I did a little bit deeper research than the research that I initially got me that number, and it turns out that a 38-year-old male who is 200 pounds and running 50 miles a week should be eating in the upwards of 400, I think 50 grams to like 600 something grams of carbs per day. So that really explains if you've seen some of my other videos where I had to stop at Starbucks or I wasn't feeling good or I took a gel too early, that really explains like why. There's also been nights where I was going to bed and I was like in bed and I just needed food. My body was like, go eat something, go eat something. So I'm eat like a bagel uh, and like a banana or something like that, like in the bed. So something clearly was off and we've narrowed it down to what the issue is. So yesterday I ate about 450 grams just because that was the first day that I started to figure it out. And moving forward, I'm going to aim, depending on what I have the next day, somewhere at least 400 grams, which is almost double what I've been taking. So now I know it takes a while for the carbs to get into your bloodstream or into your muscles as glycogen. So yesterday may not directly affect this run, but moving forward, I'll be giving updates on how I'm feeling. I don't have a gel today because it's an 8 mile run with hill sprints, but anything under like 90 minutes, I don't think that I need to take a gel. So, okay, rambling complete. I'm gonna go knock this one out. I'll see you guys when I get back over here. Peace. That runs in the books. What I have to say about it, it wasn't easy. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't like detrimentally hard either. But I definitely felt it. And I'm a little concerned because this was an easy run with some hill sprints at the end of it. So I did try to take it easy, stay closer to 10 minutes per mile by like 9:30, 9:40. But my concern is that tomorrow is like I think it's like a threshold run or a tempo run or something with some sustainment to it. So I'm a little nervous about how I feel now going into tomorrow morning. So hopefully I can get all the right nutrition, all the right carbs like I talked about, the right fats, and hopefully kind of expedite or at least support my recovery overnight to be ready tomorrow morning for that last run of the week. Um, yeah, this one's very repetitive. This is probably the most repetitive run that I do throughout the whole schedule. You know, the Thursday hill sprints, it's either 4 miles, 6 miles, or 8 mile hill sprints, but those do all seem to land on a Thursday. So it's like one of the most consistent things aside from the long run. But even as we go a little bit further in this training plan, the long run starts to have different dynamics to it as well, not just long run. Um, Today is supposed to be a leg day, and I've been honestly slacking on legs, just full transparency. Last week, I was supposed to do a modified leg workout at home with goblet squats and so on and so forth, but I didn't do it. I had family coming town that day, and we are getting house ready, last minute type stuff. So I didn't do legs at all last week. However, Brad Hudson, the author of the book, the program that I'm following, is very adamant that hill sprints is the workout to prevent injury and increase your glute strength and your muscle memory and lower body strength and core strength. So maybe I'm doing enough. In my head, I'm not. So my goal today is to get some type of leg workout in and not let this go by the wayside because everything else is clicking. And that's the one thing I do need to get a hold of is being better at leg workouts. It's just daunting, especially before you start running. All right, let's wrap this day up. No more workouts for the day. I just talked about legs. So we'll wrap this day up, get ready for a leg day after work. And then thankfully tomorrow's Friday already. Somehow tomorrow's Friday. So it'll be our last run of the week. So excited to wrap this video up. Excited to get another one posted. And then rest a little bit and get the next one started. See you on the next update. Peace out. Good morning. Welcome to day 6 of marathon training week 8. So today is like a kind of like a threshold run, I think is what it's listed as, but it's going to be 2 miles easy, 5 miles at marathon pace, and then 2 miles easy on the back end. However, I'm very comfortable in a certain loop that I do around my neighborhood to the beach and back, which is actually a 10-mile loop. So what I'm going to do is 2 miles easy, 5 miles at half marathon pace, and then 3 miles easy to make it a 10-mile loop. And I think that's just a nice roundabout way to wrap the week up. And I actually don't know what that puts me at for the mileage for this week. I think it's 50, maybe 51 now because I'm going to move that to 10, but I'm not 100% sure. I started my carb increased intake. So I shifted my maintenance calories from my original goal from 9-10 months ago of losing a pound a week to now maintaining, which puts me at about 470 grams of carbs, 80 grams of fats, and this is rough estimates, and I believe 210 grams of protein. So we're moving the diet just a little bit. I would ideally like to still stay under that a little bit, but still hit my carbs as close as possible because I don't hate the idea of still just making sure I stay on my weight. It's important to me that my running weight be 200 pounds. So I'm trying to make sure I at least maintain at 200. I don't have any desire to be under 200, especially as a 6'4" dude. But I do want to stay right at 200 at least until I get through this marathon. Once I'm done with the marathon, I'll look more into that. But I want to run this race at 200 pounds. So that's it. Nutrition went well yesterday. I feel recovered. I'm feeling good in my legs. Hopefully we can knock out a good quality run and then get into this weekend. So I'll see you guys from the run. Peace. If by chance there's anybody who made it this far into the video, I want to give a heads up that I decided to create a fundraiser for my spot in the marathon. Now, most people do this, and as a reward, they get their marathon fee, race entry fee paid for. But I already paid for mine months ago. I just felt compelled with this unique story of a first-time marathoner and an attempt to get sub 4. I feel like it's a unique situation that I want to take full advantage of. So I'm raising money for childhood cancer research. The link is both in the description of this video under the links of my channel, as well as in the description of the channel itself.
So if you feel compelled, $1, $2, $3, I donated 25 just to get the ball rolling. And I'm excited to see what we can do. But if you're interested, I made the link readily available for anyone. All right, to the run. We just finished up our 5 miles at half marathon pace. We're on a 3 easy now. Swap that up. My least favorite part about this route and going this way though is I'm gonna hit about a half a mile incline here in a little bit. Other than that, I feel good. Happy this is the last run of the week and rest these old tired legs a little bit. Okay, donate if you want. See you at the end of this video if you stay that long. Peace.
We are actually done with the week, done with week 8. Insane. I can't honestly, I had to keep checking to make sure it was actually Friday. I don't know how it's Friday already. It seems like it would have been a short week, but it was a full week and it's crazy. It just flew by. Thankful for it though. I'm thankful that this week is over. It's probably the most challenging week I've had as far as workout like quality since I started, and I guess it's just that time in the training plan to start getting that speed work and that holding a pace work. Interesting thing about this easy part on the back end is like I couldn't slow down because I was running my half marathon pace at about 7:50-ish to 8 minutes average pace for those 5 miles. And then once I hit the end of those 5 and it was time to start the 3 easy, I was like, okay, I slow down drastically. I feel like I'm barely moving. I'm checking my watch. I'm going 9 minutes. Okay, I said, let me slow down a little bit. I'm going 9:01. Slow down a little bit. I think I'm going 8:58. So it was really hard for me to adapt my body and my effort from pushing half marathon pace for 5 miles to going slow. And the thing is, like, my heart rate was still controlled. My heart rate was still like 146, I think, was the highest, maybe 148. But towards the end of the run on my final stretch, I was still hitting about 9:01, 9:02, and my heart rate was like 136. So it was just interesting that I couldn't slow down, but it's like I didn't really need to. I think my body was so warmed up and moving. Plus, I'm so amped up on carbs that I think I could go on forever. Um, so yeah, that was a takeaway from that. I did mention during the run that video that I'm doing donations for. I'm doing a fundraiser for donations for childhood cancer for my marathon. So if you feel so inclined, that link is available everywhere on my page, my social media. So the week in whole, let's sum this week up. I'd say I've learned to just go by feel, not so much set myself to a pace, to go by feel. One of the big things that we definitely talked about and learned was the nutrition factor. I was severely under eating on carbohydrates. So now I'm up to averaging about, I think I'm going to change my calories to like 3,400 calories a day and 470 grams of carbs, which is going to make life a lot easier and help me feel a lot better during these runs. Because this 10 mile was probably the easiest 10 miles I've done as far as like body feeling. I did take one gel. I almost missed it, but I took it at like 45 minutes. So about 4.5 miles. I took it during my intervals. Um, Overall week, I still got to do the math. When I figure it out, I'll put it right here, how many miles I've done weekly this week, how many miles I've done this week. I'll put it over here. But yeah, I feel progressed. We're almost to the halfway point of this training block. So one more week. And the bad thing about that is for my half mark, for my 10-week mark, I'm going to be on travel. Now I'm going to be in Nevada. And every day that I'm in Nevada for a conference, I still have to be running. So that's going to be an interesting thing to figure out, find out how to do laundry in the hotel and all those things. So that is it for the week. I hope you enjoy the new format with the long run part of this. I just felt like that was worth it instead of splitting audiences between one workout and then the other 5 workouts. I think putting it all in one place is better. We'll shut this week down here. Tomorrow is just a gym day, just upper day, no running tomorrow. And then Sunday, I don't know what it is because I don't look anymore, but it's a long run on Sunday. That's it. I'm feeling confident. And I just want to reiterate the reason I did this fundraising thing is because I feel confident 100%. Okay, 100% is a little cocky. I I feel very confident I'm going to finish this race, and also very confident that I'm going to finish it under the goal time that I have. So I figured let's try to motivate some people. Let's see if they can help motivate me while contributing to a good, worthy cause. That's it. No more running, no more talking until Sunday. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until Sunday morning, stay the course, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.